Good morning. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank INCIBE for this opportunity of being in this event and in this town, in León. This event is very important for us because, as you know, Gartner, which is world leader in advisory services and consulting in technological issues, has many analysts that write and analyze a lot about trends in markets and providers and best practices. And in technology, for us it's very important to write but also to speak with people and to listen. And that is why it is a very good opportunity for us to do both things, to speak and to listen.
Efectivamente puse este título también, segundo título, que es la hora de cambiar algo.
With this second title, which is the hour of change something, with all of those that work in the safety securities area, which is a government or private companies, small and big, that are providers. Because I have a confession to make. First, please apologize for my Spanish. I am an Italian that lives in Lisbon and works between Portugal and Spain, and sometimes I work in English, and sometimes I mix both languages, but it's not on purpose. And also, I started my career, my work, in security, and from that moment I have always tried to avoid this field of work because it's very hard. It's very unrewarding and very lonely because people do not understand what you're doing. But perhaps something is changing. Our analysts see that some important changes are taking place. And another thing that I'm asking from you, so I tried in Portugal, but it didn't come out very well, so let's see if in Spain it's easier. So please, I ask from you a little bit of physical activity. We are going to play a little game, true or false, and I'm going to say something, and if you agree, you just have to raise your arm, okay? It's very easy. So the first thing, the digital nations are evolving their digital agendas at the nations that are better positioned to leader cybersecurity. Do you agree? Okay, this is working. Thank you. So it's true. Right? So raise against your arms if you think that the Western world, or what we call the Western world, the US, UK, Germany, Spain, if they have a leader position in this. No, you don't agree. Okay, good. Why?
Esto es el índice global de security,
Global Security Index score,
que no es elaborado por la Gartner, es elaborado por las Naciones Unidas.
Created by the Gartner, but the one made by the United Nations every year. It is a way of measuring the compromise
de lo que se dice que queremos hacer en la ciberseguridad y lo que efectivamente se hace.
That is what we say we want to do in cybersecurity and what we actually do. At a level country, and as you can imagine, at the first level, we have the U.S. No, the United States is at the second place. So who is at the first place? Singapore. Who are in the next places? This has been a quite big surprise for me. So, for example, seeing Mauritius or Oman here, these are the emerging nations in the leader area of cybersecurity. So the first European nation is Estonia. We have already spoken about Estonia in this forum. We all know that Estonia is doing very good things in this area. The second one from here is Georgia, France, and Norway. Let's see why.
Claro, si echamos un vistazo, por ejemplo, a
If we
Singapur,
take a
Estados
look at
Unidos, alguien
Singapore
puede
or the
decir, bueno,
US,
una cuestión de
you can
inversión,
say that, well, it's
una
just an
cuestión de dinero.
investment issue, it's a money
El
issue.
dinero ayuda. Claro,
Yes, money helps,
no
of
es la
course,
única razón.
but it's not the only
Siempre en el
reason.
mismo informe hay una
In the same
relación
report,
o
there's always a
intentamos
relationship, or
relacionar
we
dos
try
cosas,
to
dos
relate
índices de los
two different
de las
things,
Naciones
two
Unidas.
indexes from the United
Lo que
Nations.
os acabo de mostrar en el eje
What I
vertical
just showed
y el
you in the
otro, que
vertical
es
axis,
el índice de
and the
desarrollo
other thing, which is the
de tecnología.
development,
O sea,
the
cuánto las
technological
naciones
development
invierten en
index.
tecnología.
That is how much
Sí hay una
nations
relación, pero es
invest in
débil, ¿no?
this.
Por quien ve el dibujo de los puntos,
So if you
sabe
see
que
the
efectivamente no,
drawing with the dots,
esa
you
no es una
can,
relación fuerte.
you know
Hay
that is
muchas
not a strong relationship.
Perdón, hay muchas naciones que
There are
están
many
arriba
nations that
que
are on the
deberían
top
estar un poco más
that should
arriba,
be
¿no? Para
a
decir
little
si
bit
esta fuera
higher.
una relación fuerte entre
If the relationship
entre
were
inversión en
strong
tecnologías
between
y ciberseguridad y
technology,
commitment en
investment, and
Hay
commitment
algo
on
más.
in
De todas maneras, si
cybersecurity.
estáis
But there is
preguntando dónde
something
está
else.
España
So
en esto,
if you are
está
wondering
aquí.
where Spain is among
No
all
está
these,
mal.
is right here.
Podría estar mejor.
It's not bad,
Vamos a ver.
but it
Entonces,
could be
hay
better.
algo más.
So there's something else.
¿Qué hay más?
What else?
Este es otro, no sé si se ven bien los colores, pero
Not
es
sure if you can
otro
see the
framework
colors here,
que
but this is another
podemos utilizar, ¿no?
framework
para
that we can
ver
use
qué hay más.
to see what else we have.
Esto es un índice de desarrollo digital.
This is the
No es la
Digital
misma cosa que
Evolution
inversión
Index.
tecnológica.
It's not the same thing as
Se mide, eso está
technological
hecho por
investment.
Harvard Business School.
It is
eso
done
es
by the
parte de
Harvard Business
Review del
School.
2017. Es un,
And this
un
comes from
framework que pone
2017, and it's a framework
las naciones
that puts
en el lugar
nations.
casi se parece a un Magic Quadrant de la Gartner, ¿no? Un poco. Pero medimos el nivel
So
de desarrollo
what
digital
we
y el
measure
nivel
is
también
the
de
level
aceleración
of
de esto.
technological
Y como vemos, las
development.
naciones que he dicho antes están un poco
And as you
todas
can
más
see,
allí, ¿no?
the nations that
Están
I
bien
mentioned before
posicionadas también
are quite
en la
well
digitalización.
positioned
Quiere decir,
also
otra
in
vez, España está aquí.
digitalization. And Spain is again
No
here.
está mal.
Not a bad
Podría estar
position,
mejor.
but still it could be better.
¿Será que hay una correlación más fuerte
Maybe
entre,
there's a strong
entre
correlation
el nivel de desarrollo, de digitalización, no de tecnología necesariamente, de digitalización
digitalization
y de
level
ciberseguridad? Puede
and
ser que
the
sí.
cybersecurity level?
Vamos a ver qué dicen
Maybe.
algunos
Let's
de los líderes de estas
What
naciones
some
que se
of the
ponen
leaders of
enfrente
these
de las
nations
cosas.
say.
La primera son las palabras del príncipe de
First,
Dubái.
we have
Ok,
the words of
descontamos
the
el
Dubai
hecho que
prince.
es Dubái, es el príncipe de Dubái y hace lo que le da la gana, ¿no? Con su,
So the
con
Prince
su
of
ciudad.
Dubai, he does
Pero
whatever he wants
no
with
es
his
eso lo
town,
importante.
but that's not the
Lo
important
importante es
thing.
ver
The
que
important
las
thing
palabras
is to
inspiradoras
see
para mí
that
y
the
para-
inspiring
vosotros
words
también,
for me, and I hope that for you too,
de cómo pone la cuestión también, ¿no? De sector público y de cómo
for the
transformar
public
el gobierno, de cómo
area and
transformar
how to transform the
su
government
ciudad.
and
Quiere que
its
sea
town.
el laboratorio mayor
He
en
wants
el
to
mundo
be,
para
he
experimentar
wants it to be the greatest lab in the world
prácticas
to
futuras de gobierno.
experiment
Yo
with
creo que
future
son palabras bastante
governance
inspiradoras
practices.
que vienen de alguien,
These
¿no?
are
de
very
de
inspiring
un
words
gobernador,
coming from a
de una persona que
governant,
trabaja en política.
from someone
otras,
that works in,
o más,
in politics.
Porque no es un príncipe, pero sí es la directora
And
del
then,
programa de e-government
the
de
managing
Estonia.
director for the Estonian initiative.
Aquí eso para mí es casi chocante, o sea, porque
She
viene de alguien
has-
del
she
sector
says
público,
something
de alguien del
quite,
gobierno. Dice,
impressive.
¿de qué? Habla de confianza.
She
No es
talks
esto que me choca,
about
lo que
trust,
choca son las
and
palabras
that is not
después.
what surprises
Dice,
me. It's what
estamos
she says
adoptando blockchain en
afterwards.
muchas cosas, por
She
ejemplo, como
says,
e-health records,
we
pero
are
también para hacer el
adopting
voto, para que
blockchain in many
nadie,
things, so nobody,
que sean instituciones, que sea el gobierno mismo,
the,
pueda
no
efectivamente
institutions or the
comprometer los
government
datos,
can
pueda comprometer los
compromise
records.
any data, any records.
Para mí esto es inspirador,
For
espero
me,
para
this
vosotros
is quite
también.
inspiring, and I
Una
hope
persona que
that
empieza a
it is
hablar
for
de
you too.
confianza a
Someone
nivel
that
global,
starts
a nivel
talking
total,
about
a
trust
nivel, podrías decir,
at a
esencial.
global level, at a
Y esto, de hecho,
general level.
eso de la
And this is basic.
confianza y de la resiliencia, también como hablaba la
And the trust
embajadora
and
antes,
resilience, as the
es
ambassador mentioned
el
before,
centro
it's the
del
center
framework que nuestros analistas también han desarrollado, ¿no? Para estructurar una estrategia de ciberseguridad moderna, o como podemos decir, una estrategia de seguridad digital.
This is a strategic vision for cybersecurity, which is quite broader than the traditional cybersecurity.
No hay como quien
At the center
ha
of
empezado
this,
en seguridad como yo, ¿no? Generalmente se ponía siempre las
many people haven't started in
confidentiality,
cybersecurity as I have.
availability,
They
y
started in
después
other
esto se ha hecho
issues
como un
like
modelo aún más complicado con 5 parámetros
liability
en vez de
and
7, non-repudiation,
context and
nada
things.
de
And
esto, más simple. Es una cuestión de confianza y
but it's much simpler than that. It's about trust and resilience. This is what we have to do. This is the primary goal. And around this, create something adaptive.
Pero en inglés es adaptive. O sea, gobierno y arquitecturas que se puedan adaptar.
Government and
Y esa es
architecture
la
that can be
quintesencia, si
adaptive.
queremos, ¿no? de la
And
seguridad
that
digital.
is the trend for cybersecurity.
Muy bien, ahora yo creo que es la hora de pasar también a ver más allá de los gobiernos, las regiones soberanas,
let's see beyond
las
the
naciones
governments
soberanas,
or the
a ver lo que
sovereign
pasa
nations.
en el mercado de la seguridad,
What
en
happens
el mercado donde todos estamos, ¿no? Empresas y
in the
proveedores.
security
Ahora
market where we all are companies and providers? Now, I'm not going to ask about raising your hands
Pero,
because
por
it's
ejemplo,
way too
la
much.
lógica es la misma.
But, for
Es
example, the
verdad
logic is the same one.
que
So
los
is it true
presupuestos de
that the
seguridad van a
budgets,
crecer?
the security
Que
budgets are
sigan
going
creciendo.
to
Sí,
keep
verdad,
increasing?
absolutamente.
Yes,
Y
it
es
is true.
verdad o no
And is
que
it true or not
el primer driver,
that the first or the biggest
las razones
driver,
principales porque las empresas y los gobiernos
main
seguirán
reasons
invirtiendo en
for the
seguridad
companies
es
and
el
governments
aumento
to
de
invest in
ataques, ¿no? de
security
ciberataques.
is the increase
¿es
of
verdad o no?
cyber attacks.
No.
Is it true? No.
Vamos a ver por qué después. Y
Later we'll
es
see
verdad
why.
que
And is it
las razones
true that
principales,
the
como los
main
bloqueadores
reasons
principales de la despesa, de los gastos, de la inversión.
The main reasons for the
ciberseguridad
investment
es la
in
falta
cybersecurity
de
is the lack
concienciación
of
de los boards.
awareness?
No es verdad.
No,
Esos
it's
son
not
todos
true.
falsos mitos que
These are
queremos un
all
poco
false
cambiar hoy.
myths
Pero
that we
sí que
want
es
to
verdad,
change
lo puedo
today.
decir,
But
que
it is true
gran parte de los presupuestos de
that
seguridad
most security
siguen
budgets
desarrollándose
are
o por lo menos
still being
ser
developed, or
empleados
at least
para
they are
dos
being
cosas
used for two
principalmente,
main
que son, talentos
things, which
y
are
servicios.
talents
Más
and
que
services,
tecnología, más
more
que
than technology
piezas, ¿no?
or pieces
Vamos a ver por qué está
or
diciendo.
network pieces.
Como sabéis,
Let's
en
see why
Gartner
I'm saying
hacemos
this.
muchísimos, encuestas, muchísimas,
As you know, we
preguntamos
do a
muchas
lot of
cosas.
surveys,
Esta es la última encuesta
and
que
this is
hicimos
the last
en el
one we
sentido
made
de ciberseguridad,
regarding
también de
cybersecurity
intenciones de orzamiento, ¿no? de inversión.
and investment intentions. So between 2017 and 2018, we have seen an increase in the intent.
El budget, ¿no? El presupuesto de seguridad ha crecido y ha crecido bastante.
We are seeing an increase in the budget
del 21% que era
at a rate of 20%, which is quite bigger than last year. This means that in any place of the world, our customers are thinking about spending more and more in cybersecurity. We already knew this because we can see it, but it is also interesting seeing how this market is evolving according to our analysts in Spain for the future. And it's something like this. So it's a market that is going to reach 1,700 million euros, and the rate of increase is going to be quite constant. So our analysts are thinking about us at 7% per year. We are not far from that, but it's quite high. And in Portugal, it's going to be near 4%. So, for example, Spain is going to increase at a double rate than Portugal. It's not too much, but it's one of the highest in Europe. How regarding the market components, how is it going to be fragmented? How is it going to evolve? So the first three segments, the top three segments of the security market are going to be services, which will keep on growing. And secondly, the network security equipment, and then the protection of the infrastructure. But the percentage is going to get lower because we're going to get some other partners in this market. So we'll see that the cloud security is going to increase at a 45% per year. It's true that now it's quite low, but there's a big opportunity here regarding work and providers. Secondly, data security, and third, application security. We see that the market is moving on, and it's following all the technological trends that the digitalization is giving us. Another interesting thing is that, as I said, the market is moving forward, and I don't know if you can see the increase from one year to the next, how the security budgets are being developed. First, we always have the search of skills, searching of skills and people. Secondly, we always have changing network architecture, which is decreasing. And in third place, we have services. Why? Because it's obvious that the first intention, which is looking for talent and skills, it is a very good idea. But it's not very easy to work on. There are very few people with high skills. Currently, there isn't any unemployment because there is a lot of demand of this. So I think you all have these problems. Here too, we are looking for people, and that is the right focus. But the problem is, how do we do to wait for one whole year waiting for that person that we are looking for? Some of our analysts suggest some alternative action ways. So, for example, I open a job position for a technical position with all the requirements that I need. Usually this doesn't work.
Nuestros analistas dicen eso es más por el mercado americano, pero no creo que estamos muy lejos del mercado europeo.
Because usually our companies are not willing to pay what is required. US companies do, but not ours. And usually the result is that per year nearly 200,000 jobs cannot be fulfilled. So what can we do? We can always require an MSSP. That's the normal thing. But another thing that we can do is, instead of looking for technical skills, just look for competencies. Or looking for potential. Another thing is that people usually are looking for certified people with CISCPs. But this takes 10% more time, and it also requires an average of $17,000 more in the budget. What can we do? We can train the staff for this. We don't have to look for someone, or we can also change the human resources policies to implement a continuous learning initiative. And in third place, we always look for someone that has between 5 and 7 years of experience, which is good. However, but the truth is that most people put this, and it takes over 9 months to fill this position. Can we wait 9 months for this? Probably not. So we look for less experienced people, and then we train them. Or another option is to look for experience in adjacent fields. Why is that? Because this is not only a cybersecurity problem. I can say that there's always lack of skills, lack of resources, because the technological environment is moving way too fast, and we are not evolving at the same time teaching people. So instead of looking for a specialization, which is very narrow, or looking for generalists, which, on the contrary, they can understand a lot of things, but we don't trust them well enough with their technical skills. So our analysts in Gartner, they say that we should look for versatilists. That is, looking for people that can quickly learn new skills. I know, it sounds like a unicorn, but perhaps it's a way of looking for competencies instead of skills. It is a cultural change that we have to implement when we look for people.
Estaba hablando de las razones para qué se contrata seguridad, se busca seguridad.
About the reasons of why we hire security, we ask the same things. So what are the reasons? So there are three trends: security, business needs, and industry changes. So you can see that in digitalization, the top is risk management.
Ha bajado desde el 74% el año pasado a 46% este año. Y es verdad que estos números también sufren de.
And you see that some factors are going down because people are investing more in privacy, but also our analysts think that all the way to 2021, cybersecurity incidents such as breaches or scandals in the social networks will have zero impact regarding public opinion or retaining customers. It'll be an everyday thing, so people will not pay attention to it. So this is a way of saying that the fear in cybersecurity has stopped being a factor of selling. So we have to find another way of positioning. We need to find another elementary pitch. So when we talk about the stopper or the brake, so when people say my CEO, my CFO, they don't understand the importance of security. That may be the case, and actually it's one of the top three reasons of why we cannot get right security budget. But it's not the first issue. The first things are two things very linked together. So usually is that the way we speak, it's quite too difficult. So what we say doesn't reach people because it's way too difficult. And the second thing is that if someone doesn't understand what we say, they cannot calculate the return of investment that this has. They understand the risk because the business is managing risks, but we don't understand what we're talking about, and they don't know what is going to be the return for it. And this is not an opinion, it is a fact. Our analysts have talked with many CEOs and CFOs, and that is the result. So this is all just to say that why we need to change the elevator pitch. That is what we say in 30 seconds to convince someone to buy our idea. So I think we cannot keep using horror stories to sell cybersecurity. It doesn't work anymore. We have to embrace the digital transformation. And also because there's a lot of budget, and it is a faster way of set free some resources. It has to be seen as an opportunity for those working in cybersecurity. We also have to increase our creativity. We don't have to be always the no person. We have to focus on trust and resilience, as we mentioned in other talks before. When we go to the market, we should look for versatilists and less on experts, because they are more expensive and they barely exist. And if they do exist, everybody's looking for them. So we should change our strategy. And finally, we have to review our way of speaking, of relating to the business, because people do not understand us. And it is very important for people to understand us, to all be in the same page. So I'm over with this, and thank you very much.